Hey guys, it's JP, and this time I'll be showing you more practical exercises for the gluteus medius that require minimal equipment and why I incorporate them. I wanted to make this video series especially for those who have limited access to equipment in gyms at this time or just have limited time in general. Now, why the gluteus medius? Many people are obsessed about training the glute max, but as a runner, you are missing out if you forget about the gluteus medius. As I have mentioned before, some research has shown that this muscle develops more forces than the glute max. This shows that this muscle is heavily involved in running. However, what exactly does it do during this time? To keep it simple, this muscle basically acts to control the hip in a single leg position, which is important considering that you are pretty much only on one leg at a time during running. All I'm basically trying to say here is that incorporating exercises that involve the gluteus medius may be beneficial as a runner. Now, let's go over some exercises that involve the glute med that you can easily incorporate at home. First, we can start with the single leg bridge. When people think about performing a bridge, they typically think of strengthening the glute max. However, the moment you involve one leg, this challenges more of the gluteus medius along with the lumbopelvic hip complex in general. This is a great exercise to do at home. However, if you really want to further challenge the gluteus medius further, you can try the single leg bridge wipers. This is basically the single leg bridge, except you add one more step to the mix, which is bringing this leg out. Without getting too complex, this exercise makes the lateral hip musculature, which includes the gluteus medius, work harder to keep the pelvis level. This function is similar to running, as during running, the gluteus medius plays a large role in controlling the pelvis as well. Now, another exercise you can try is the lateral toe tap. This is a great exercise that engages the area in a similar manner to running as you work to control the pelvis. However, this is a lot trickier to do than people realize. People tend to immediately go into performing sidestepping and are many times performed in not so ideal ways to challenge this area. That's why I actually prefer runners or just athletes in general to dial this one in to build hip control. This time, I'll go over some cues and what to look out for when doing this. First, you'll start with your knees slightly bent to around 20 to 30 degrees. This can be a detail to consider as a runner, as this is typically the knee position seen during mid-stance where the gluteus medius is engaged the most. Also, you can lean forward slightly. This will bias more of the gluteus medius rather than the tensor fasciae lata, which is the point of this movement. Now, the point of this exercise is to keep the pelvis still with no excessive leaning going on as you gently tap out and in. Remember, this is a tap, so there should be minimal pressure on the ground at this point. I love this exercise as this requires minimal equipment and is really effective in working on controlling this area in a manner more similar to running. The last exercise I will go over is the side plank. This is typically thought of as a core exercise. However, research has shown that the gluteus medius is heavily involved here. I wanted to incorporate this exercise as it is really simple to do and really engages the gluteus medius. Common cues I use for this one are to actively push the ground with the side of your foot, keep your elbow stacked under the shoulder, don't let yourself roll forward or back, and keep yourself in alignment. I will keep this one brief as I talk more about this and different variations of it in another video. And that's all for this one. I hope you found the insight here useful. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the series as well as any suggestions you may have for future videos. I hope you are all doing well. And as always, thank you for watching.